Finance guy. WW. It is not gonna be finance guy though. I don't know if I updated the title yet or not. Shit. It says finance guy. Okay, no worries. We updated the title. Mic's all the way up. Okay. Just turn it more up here. Add a face cam or like keyboard cam. Shit, I forgot my thing. Wait. Sora, you love this shit. Wait, where's my what the hell is it called? Wait, give me. There it is. Completely forgot about this guy. I don't know if you want that out there, bro. Wait, just give me. Oh my god, bro. Yo, it's me. Alright, there's no need for a sound Khwaja. Yo, it's me. It's me in the bottom. It's me in the bottom right. 20 subs. Be a little past that, but sure. A little past that. Oh, okay. Let's log in. Yeah, it's something I found online. It looks mad funny. I didn't create it. I didn't touch it. Public domain. I might make a custom one later. Go full PNG tuber. But not for now. I have way too much shit. I don't really have time to do anything but just click go live. It's public domain. I'm borrowing it for a little while. It's not really stealing. Okay. So, I should probably add everyone on Discord. Steal the. Aren't you? Shouldn't you be in live on TikTok? What you doing here? Go do your edits and shit like that. Go work on Frost Star Rip. We don't need you here. Okay. For JCS, my money still gotta play my clock. Are you on the mid tier or the highest one? Okay, they're tagged. We'll give a like I said. I'll be live in like 3 minutes, so we'll give people time to show up. Maxed. I see. I should have gotten coffee. Tired as hell. 650. Good shit. Good shit. Good shit. Probably because of the Instagram ad, right? Probably gained because of that. Or whatever. I don't know when you posted the Instagram ad. I don't really remember, but I saw the Instagram post. You can hardly hear anything? Okay, wait, so... What Why is it? I was waiting for people to show up now anyway. I don't know if they will, but I am. Turn your mic up. Mic codes. Is that better? I don't know. I don't know. I can't do much. Let's see. I don't know if that's better or not. I also have a problem where my mic isn't close to me, which sucks. Kinda better. I can't go higher than this. It says it's peaking on my end, so I don't know if it's. I don't know if my mic's peaking or something. It's getting there. It's pretty good. Maybe I just need to speak louder. There we go. I think that's. You like the? Do you like the furry? Bottom right. Now it's not better. Okay, so yeah, this is. I need to be this close to the mic. It sucks. Okay. I gotta be like here. Right? That close. Okay, so we will get no coding done. Anyway, I'll start because I don't really have much time to stream today. I have a lot of work, so just wanted to maybe code a little bit more in live, see how that goes. Anyway, to do what we're doing today. So, for context, I have been working an internship at a hospital for the past 3 to 4-ish months. It's been taking up a lot of my life. And essentially, what we're doing is this conference that I will not leak, but it's this conference where we deal with head and neck cancer data. And we're meant to segment it and predict stuff using, machine learning and all of that. And so I've been working on that for the past 3 to 4 months, and now it's about time where I start writing the research paper and all of that, and finalizing things. The problem is that the current model and the stuff that we've done is very generic. And so, as you can see right now, we did very simple stuff. So we took the CT PET scan data, we segmented it, took that output, put it with the clinical data, which is just a table of data about the patient, put it through some other classification regression models, and got different outputs after combining everything. This is very standard, it's very uninspired, and it's very computationally expensive because you're doing everything one step at a time, and so it just takes a lot longer. And so I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? The research paper is going to be uninteresting if I just do this, because this was, I think, the suggested architecture from the actual people that were hosting the event too. So very uninspired, not that good. And so I was researching and going around, and I realized I learned about something, and it's called Multimodal and Intermediate Fusion Model. And what that is essentially, instead of doing 3 different models, so we have the segmentation model, we have the, by the way, this is a UNet. This is a UNet model, which is the same model that LLMs use to image generate. So it's like standard state-of-the-art CNN. CNN being a convolutional neural network, but yeah, so that stuff. So instead of it being 3 different models here, we have one big neural network, and before we add all of the data, before we add all of the inputs, we encode it into separate mini neural networks first, and then we feed the outputs of those neural networks into the big neural network that that all the inputs go into, and then we get all 3 outputs back. I don't know if that makes sense. It's not too hard. I don't know if something like this. This is a research paper I found on it. It's not exactly the same. If you want to think about it, this is exactly what I was doing before, where it was like progressive learning, right? Just one by one, where the output feeds into the next one. A multimodal one would be, I don't know if they have it in here somewhere. I don't think so. I have no clue what multi-threading is. No idea. I wonder if there's another one here. Multimodal from head and neck tumor, in this case, simple intermediate. Yeah, there we go. Intermediate fusion model here. We'll figure this one out maybe. Let's see. I think this is it. I don't know what multi-threading is, so I can't say that it's the same or not. this seems a lot more different to what I was thinking. I don't even know if this is I don't think this is the same data set either. But what's this saying? Res block, segmentation head, stem, forward view, reverse view, reverse view. Anyway, it's a big task. We're definitely not gonna finish this off in one stream. That would be impossible. I probably will have to take like a week just to learn this because I have no clue how to develop any of this. So we're gonna figure it out together today. At least figure out what all we need to get done and how to do it. So trusty AI first and foremost. So it's a technique used in programming that splits a program into smaller units of execution called threads, which allows multiple tasks to run concurrently and share the same memory within the machine. I guess the only similarity that I see is that it's splitting the task a little bit, but we don't do it for efficiency's sake. We do it so that the model actually predicts stuff that it needs to predict. If we just take all three inputs and feed it into a neural network, it's just going to return outputs that are mishmashed from patterns that it's learned from every single input. And people do that. It's called early fusion. But what we're doing is intermediate fusion. Intermediate fusion is like we put it into small neural networks first, extract those simple patterns, and take those out, and then we put it into a big neural network, and that way we get the best of both worlds, where we have our separate neural network that gets all those main patterns down plus the big one. And the benefit of a big one that's joined with all the inputs is that you get extra features that the neural network learns on its own that's not necessarily present in the data. I don't really know how to explain it. It's without drawing something, and I don't have like MS Paint, but it's definitely a lot better than just running some scikit-learn sequential model. And my idea essentially is that, okay, I'll get this model up, and then once the model's up, I'll probably just, I don't know, see if it does better and stuff like that. Excalidraw. Is it like an app? I don't know, Excalidraw. Excalidraw. Oh, wow. Cool. But essentially, it's like before, if we were doing like CT PET scans, right, of the head and neck tumor, we'd pass that into our neural network. We'd get an output, right? So we'll get an output O1, and that output would get fed into, along with like clinical data, right? Clinical data. We get it'd be fed into a classifier for the tumor stage, and then that output would be output 2, and then that would be down with the clinical data again, and then it'd give we pass it to a regressor because we need to find out how long people would survive, and once that's passed we get output 3, and we need all of that. So what happens here is that each model is learning different things for the appropriate data. So this is learning patterns only from this, and this is learning patterns only from this. And so all the data that's present here, not necessarily conveyed. So if this has, so CT is basically just like, think of an X-ray, like a 3D X-ray. And then a PET scan is like anabolic activity where you can, you can kind of, how do I put PET scans? You essentially put a tracer into a person, and then you get readings where glucose levels are high in your body. So by doing that, so cancer regions will obviously consume more glucose. So we see PET scan, we see CT, and then together we combine them and we get segmentation masks. And then essentially we just want to predict those with this. But there's a lot of information that's not explicitly said, like tumor distance between each other or tumor size. That's lost simply because we're just feeding the segmentation mask into here, right? So if we're only feeding the segmentation mask into here, then a lot of that hidden information from here is lost because we're only taking the output. Now, if you think about it, if we just do CT PET and we do, clinical data, right? So we have these two, and we feed them into a big neural network, just a huge one, a black box blob, we can still get 3 outputs. But now what happens is that it'll probably get confused, and the patterns from this would affect this a bit too much, and there'd be a lot of bias involved that we can't mitigate, simply because the same thing is trying to do 3 different things, and it's just really difficult. This is still a viable method, and I think actually this early fusion method is way better than what I had implemented here. So it's way better than this, but this is still a little rough around the edges. So instead, what we can do is we can get CT, right? We'll split CT and PET scan data completely, and we'll do also the clinical, right? And we'll pass these into smaller encoders, which we can think of as like mini neural networks. I don't think it's technically that, but honestly, I don't even know, but we can check it out later. But pass it into these encoders, which essentially act as find the simple patterns for a certain task, and then once those encoders are done, then we pass it to big boy NN, right? Big boy NN over here, and then we get 3 different outputs that we need. So that's the plan. Today, so I've already done all the pre-processing on the data for these models, so we're not going to touch the data whatsoever, so that's good, because that's the boring part, but it's also the easy part. So the easy part is done. So we've got the data down. What we need to build is these encoders, and these encoders are not going to be they're not going to be easy to build. There's 2 limitations. One, in order to run a lot of this, because we have about 300 gigabytes worth of data, I'd have to go to the hospitals. I'd have to remote access the hospital's supercomputer that they have. This is the first approach. Outside of the encoder, you just throw out of the patterns. Yeah. It's not similar to this. In a way, think of it as like sequentially upgrading. So all of the benefits of this are going to be present in this model, plus the hidden features here, right? Yeah, the second diagram. It is the same as this, except these ones just make it a lot more clear. These encoders. That's it. But yeah, no. So there's going to be 2 big issues when we're developing it today, which is why I wanted to keep the stream to an hour long, because I do need to test it. First is that we need to remote access to the university. Is it the university? I guess not. The hospital is separate. But we need to remote access to the hospital supercomputer so that I can actually access the data first and foremost, because it's kept on their PC and I can't have it locally, because it's actual real patient data. And then secondly, to actually run the models, because 300 gigabytes worth of data plus these really complex neural networks need a lot of memory. So we're running it on like 36 gigabyte VRAM GPUs and like 96 gigabyte RAM, stuff like that. So we need to connect remote access, which requires a lot of it's very difficult to connect it remotely from home. So I need to do a lot of what's it called? VPN setup and everything, which would expose credentials, and I'm just not comfortable doing that on stream in case I leak anything. So first bottleneck of the stream is that there will be no testing, which sucks. So we're going into it blind. We can't run any code. We're just going to be building all of this from scratch. So that's that. And then the second bottleneck is that I am dog shit, which is a big one. I've coded all of these not by hand. I think this model, this UNet model, right, this neural network, this was helped by like a certain PhD colleague of mine. They helped me code it, but everything else I coded myself, the data, everything. So my hands are dirty, but I cannot clarify enough that a lot of AI will be prompted, and there'll probably be a lot of like just syntax errors, because I think I'm gonna have to code this in PyTorch, because the supercomputer only uses PyTorch, and I don't have the access level to install new dependencies. It's a lot. So we have to figure out a lot. It'll be a lot of Google. So in general, so those are the 2 main bottlenecks that we have. But yeah, no. So that's that. So now, we already have the idea here what encoders we need to build. So the CD encoder and PET encoders are 3D images, and so we need some 3D convolutional networks, right? So convolutional neural networks are, I don't know if I can do it justice by explaining. I myself have a very abstract understanding. Like Modal or Ori. I could, but that would require me needing to port the data over, which I can't. Which I can't do because it's real patient data and privacy reasons. So it has to stay on the university database that I cannot access by without like the VPN. And if I'm already connected to the VPN, might as well just use the supercomputer, right? But yeah, no. So we already have it. So this is, we need to code a 3D CNN here. 3D CNN. You could simulate it though. Maybe. I have one example data stored on my PC. Just don't tell anybody. I have one because I needed to test a Docker when I was doing it. And clinical is a 1D feature vector. It's just a, a pandas data frame that we can pass into just, a basic MLP. And then once all three of these are encoded, we pass it into this guy, and this guy will back propagate, right? We'll just do a simple SGD. And then this will get trained, and then we can see the outputs, which I'll probably be testing tomorrow. We'll see how that goes, if I can get it done by today. But we need to build this encoders. And for that, first things first, gotta ask AI. I think it's pretty simple. I don't really need to write the most cleanest code immediately. Actually, you know what? Let's start without AI. Let's be a little daring today. Encoders. Okay. There we go. All right. Coders.py. And essentially, so we can just read out what we need to get done. Sorry, I'm learning Vim too. Define main. So, okay. So get, so we'll have to do get data, right? And then we'll have to do, I don't know if my mic's bad or not, just let me know because I moved fairly far away from it to code. Just let me know. Get data. Then after getting data, probably need to store that. How are you going to present this data? So it's less about the data itself. So what we're doing right now is we have two different data sets. It's one which we are using to train and then validate and test. So we're going to do all of that on the data that we have at our hospital, right? And then I've contacted some people at a different hospital for their data, right? So what we're going to do, and essentially the main point of the paper, is like, hey, this model that we built can generalize over different hospitals and is universal, right? That's what we're trying to prove. And so you can use this in any form. And so that way it's like, I don't know, it's impressive. It's never about showcasing the data itself. It's all, I think, like, even in these papers, I think these papers actually do show it a little bit. Or they don't. I guess they don't. But yeah, you can see it's a lot more result focused about the model that they did, what happened. We're not really going into the nitty gritty of like, oh, this patient was like 150 kilograms and because of that they had head and neck cancer. We're not doing that. But we're doing like just the results of how the model performs. So it's all about the model. It's less about the actual data. Do you have to create an application that's able to accept some data and throw out a result that looks feasible? I think so. So the thing with this is that when I wrote the original progressive model, or the sequential one, I guess, it's what do you call it? This one, it would, if it couldn't find the value associated with a certain column, it would throw an error. But it's a good point. We might have to make it so that, well, to be fair, a lot of the columns or features that we have, they're pretty common. It's like something that every doctor should have about a patient. So we have age, sex, we have, have you gotten cancer previously? If you did, what was its stage? Stuff like that. So all of that data I feel like is not too difficult of an ask to input. So I don't know. I can definitely ask my colleagues and see what we want to do with that, and we can figure that out. But anyway, so we'll have to do CT. Why is it blue? Okay. CT data gets CT. And we'll do pet data. Cat pet. And then clin should just honestly be, I think I could just do pd dot read CSV. I don't need to do too much. I think I have a clean version somewhere. So this data I'm allowed to keep, because this data is less intrusive. When we're talking about CT PET scan data, it's very much more intrusive. I still can't show it too heavily on here, so I won't be doing like data exploration, just out of principle, I guess. But I can show this. I think this is like public, actually. So Hector training data with GTN features. Let's see, sort. 31st July. Maybe try using Streamlit to show that it's possible through an interface. Yeah, that might be fun. I definitely wanted to go the web app route. I have until October, I think. I'll be part-time at well, I'm not really getting paid all that much, so I think they'll cut my pay, but I still want to work on the project, so we'll see. Where is the thing that I want to do? Where are you? Oh, okay, that's why. We should also just start adding in some proper repo management here. pd.read CSV. Does it not have? Why is it saying that? Let me try running this, maybe? Okay, so it runs without the thing. I don't know if I need to check this project out. I did it to speed some process from building the web app. Yeah, they might cut my funding, which sucks. But hey, what can you do? I still got uni to check the project I did to speed up the process. I'll check it out. Honestly, the web app part is not the hard part. I'll be honest. I feel like I could speedrun that with Claude in a couple of days. It's definitely not a difficult thing. I went into this internship with the sole purpose of learning. So it was never really about the money, as cliche as it sounds. I love money, but it was never about that for me. I already have a second job that I've also been doing, and it sucks, but yeah, we'll see. PD don't read CSV. If clin exists. Return, whoa. It worked. I don't know if it works like this, but let's hope. Is this? If name, okay. Forget this sometimes. Did you mean ID? So my thing is not set up. Thank you. I saw your chat just now. Okay. Let's go Conda. Name main is not defined. What? Is it tweaking chat? Let's import pandas and all that. No, I already have the environment set up, which is why I'm like a little bit hesitant on doing all of that. I might have to set up an environment. I don't think so. I should be fine. I think it's because I'm trying to run it from the terminal and Z is dog shit in this turn. I haven't set up Z yet. Should I just open it up in VCC? I'm trying to learn Vim though. Base conda. Okay, wait. MIP conda activate my N conda install app Python kernel Python M. This is okay. Never mind. Install Python. Okay. Create v.vnv. So why use condas when you can just use Python plus uv? I don't know. I just always had it set up with condas. I don't know what uv is. Python. Single tool to replace pip. Oh, this sounds. Whoa. So much better. Installation. Okay, I'll check this out later. Definitely seems interesting. But I think if I just do pip install pandas, I think. Oh, also, I'm dumb. You can't just. You have to import pandas and all that. Thank you. I don't know why I forgot about that. I thought you were talking. Dumb. There we go. That's probably what it was. If clean, okay. I wonder if there's an exist command. Probably not. Turn clean. It is ambiguous, yeah. What if I do turn click dot hand? There we go. Yes, it works. I was just being dumb. I did not need to set up all that venv bullshit. It's fine. We'll clean it up later. Okay. So yeah, it's fine. Get PT. Yeah, Clin. Clinical data. Pit. Then we need to actually encode stuff. Okay, so input 1. I think I can just do it like this. Encode CT to CT data. What got you more interested in doing AI ML over traditional routes like full stack or web dev? Honestly, I kind of got bored of the whole web dev thing. I'm still Well, not anymore actually, but I was involved with a lot of web dev stuff in my first 2 years of uni. It was a lot, and I think I just kind of got bored. Plus, I just don't see the future in it as much. I'm not like a big guy. Like I'm not big on like, oh, we shouldn't use AI to code. I'm completely fine with that. But with web dev, I find, maybe it's because I'm not an expert, but I find it increasingly difficult for me to put any of my input in it. And slowly but surely, every single web dev project I do is just turns into slop. Simply because I get so many ideas so fast, and with there being no barrier to prompting, I can just make the biggest mess, and then it just gets out of my hand. And there's only so many times you can do that. I mean, just finance guy was a big example of that, right? Where it's like god awful. It's right now that code base is dog shit. So it's like you get tired of it. And so this is definitely a way better thing. I'm doing a bunch of uh machine learning stuff. I'm very particularly interested in computer vision, which is a subset of machine learning that's focused more on reality, right? And I've been working with a lot of hardware. So I'm in a satellite club. We're launching a satellite soon. And I'm building a bunch of very low level code, not only for the satellite, but also for the telemetry on the ground station, where we take in all the stuff, we have to feed it into a database, you know, we get live dashboard feeds. And I also, I'm planning on later building up like these machine learning models for it, because that satellite's meant to explore some light. It's meant to, like, I don't know, it's meant to observe some light up in the sky. So something like that. So that's a big thing. Another big project that I'm working on is for RoboSub 2027. That was what last stream. Actually, no, I didn't get around to it, but it's another club where it's just we're building a submarine that works on its own, and it uses computer vision and stuff like that. So I'm getting very interested in the intersection between AI and hardware more and more, and it's super fun. Yeah, I get what you mean. I've gotten tired of building web dev, but I've seen my success in it and focus more towards providing DevOps solutions and architectures over just building front end, never front end. Yes, so front end is horrible. I know what you mean. What do you mean by success? I've just by selling websites and stuff, because I know that's still big. I don't know if you work. I don't know if you have like a startup or anything, but I know web dev is really easy to get into as opposed to something like this. This is a very traditional thing. Now, by working as tech lead, yeah, fair enough. I don't know how you do it. Tech lead sounds like the most horrific existence ever. Because like I'm technical lead on this charity foundation where we provide software to, uh, you know, uh, GMOs and sorry, not GM, NGOs and stuff like that, to other charities, right? And it's like I sit there and I watch these first year's code, and I have to just sit there and approve PRs and get into meetings, and like it sucks, I much prefer sitting down and coding and knowing what's going on. Reading code has got to be the biggest, especially in the pure age of AI slop, and especially with these first years that are trying to balance university with it. You have to sit there and like take all that shit. Money is good though, yeah. I know what you mean. That's the only reason for promotion, right? I guess you do more work for more money. I don't know. I don't know if I want to get into web dev. I don't know if I want to get into coding. I feel like coding has become more and more of a passion side hobby for me. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just get into business. I'm not really sure. Right now all I think about is how do I maximize my opportunity, right? So I'm at university, I'm in like a bunch of clubs. Second year got an internship. So right now I'm just trying to get everything ticked off and then figure out what I actually want to do later on when experience gets, better. We'll see. Okay. Tackling interests till you find one you want to pursue. Hmm. I'm really digging this machine learning. I finished an entire textbook on machine learning, this O'Reilly one, over the summer. It's been really fun to get into. That's another thing with web dev, where it's like I did it so much, and I did so much of it for other people. I never got the chance to learn. I like forgot the basics of React and everything. Like, I remember like a junior of mine in the charity club that I was talking to. He asked me. He was like, "What's use effect for again?" And I couldn't answer him. And I was like, "Shit, how do I not know what use effect is for?" Because that's very basic. And like, I think I got too reliant on AI, and because I had to do so much work, I lost that curiosity. I lost that willingness to learn. So tackling something not entirely new. I've always been into machine learning, but tackling it on with like, ooh, let's learn this. Let's learn. Oh, that looks cool. This is fun. Like right now, we're hand coding something. Like who hand codes in the big age of AI? But it's like this is not about peak efficiency. It's about learning and enjoying it. And honestly, I've seen people that are, well, not AI, right? I've seen people that are so good at coding that they can outperform AI. So maybe I can get to that point. I've seen people that know coding like a third language. And so to them, they can just write it down just like that. And it's like impressive. It's very impressive. Mind if I ask how you got into the industry? I'm assuming you're also in a CS background. Wait, shit, you're Hikue. I forgot. I thought I was talking to a random. Okay. Code clinical. Okay. We've got everything. So now we actually have to build it and not just abstract. .3D unit. Bruh, I gotta have an account. Oh, that's TensorFlow. We need PyTorch. We need PyTorch. Let's see. Standard 3D unit, residual 3D units. Hmm. encoder for 3D images. Do just implement the unit. Nothing much. We're actually getting to the meat of it. Just seeing which model I should be building and how to do it. Yeah, this unit model is a biggie. It's a very big thing. I think I might have to make unit pi. That's not what I said. Whoa. Ended up opening Pandora's box. Can I just make one? I'm gonna have to make a new one. If you don't mind me asking, how did you get into the industry? You said you had a lot of success with web dev and you're a tech lead now. How'd that happen? And the full unit. Yeah, getting into this climate is mostly through startups. I see. Basically build their entire strict infrastructure from E to E. They gave me tech lead position. I see. When did you do a CS bachelor's or anything like that? When did you graduate? When did you actually enter the market? Yeah, no, I realized that after verbose. Yeah, I clicked on your channel link. I was like, byte codes. I've never seen this guy's. I've never seen this guy. And then it said Hikue, and I was like, oh, it's him. I thought I was talking to a random for a while. Okay. Why is it? Oh, okay, that's why. Yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay. Sorry, just stream things. I don't know if I should stream on YouTube or if I should do on Twitch. I don't know. YouTube's kind of dead. I haven't had the time to make a video. I want to make a video so bad. I just don't get time to do anything, bro. Accessing the official 3D image classification of CT scans, able to complete volumetric CNN from Nifty, loading through pre-processing, augmentation, conv 3D blocks, pooling, global pooling. Honestly, I'm still in my third or fourth year, probably taking a gap year right now, but I started with getting an advanced diploma first, then targeted startups and corporate together. Yeah, no, my friend's doing the same thing. He got a diploma first, and now he's getting a bachelor's. Yeah, you have to go all in on YouTube? I do. It's hard when you're busy, yeah. I can balance it though. I think the one bottleneck for me is most definitely my part-time job, because that can take like easily 6 to 8 hours out of a day, plus leave me tired the next day. That plus this project that I'm doing, or this internship where I have to travel so far away, it gets a bit unruly. Did he take a bridge program? I don't know. I don't know how he did it, but I just know that he's old, that he has a diploma. That's what I know. So we'll see. For your purpose, the encoder is everything from the input that pooled representation, the tutorial's final segment classifier, the guy specifically covers. He's providing close CT between mines because that said pneumonia. I wonder if the you can get 2 years off back. What do you mean? You can get 2-3 years back? Normal scan paths, build train data augmentation. Buddy, I take transit to work. And transit one way to work is 2 hours. And oftentimes I'm working the night shift because I have the internship in the morning. So what I do is I get up at 7-ish a.m. and then I commute, get to work there for 5 hours, leave the internship, go to the gym to work, my part-time, which is really not a part-time. I'm working like 34 hours a week. So then I do that, and then I get off work at like 10 p.m., get home and then I sleep by like 12 a.m., midnight. And then you got to get up the next day and do it all over again. No breathing room except the weekends, and then the weekends are Saturday mornings are just my club meetings. Like I'll have 4 to 5 hours where I get chewed off by a billion people telling me, oh, the satellite's doing this. Oh no, we might not be able to launch. Oh no, the submarine isn't working. We didn't get the hardware we needed. Or my juniors in that other charity club are like, no, this shit doesn't work. You get used to it. Honestly, it's like it's a part of life. You hustle sometimes. You gotta do what you gotta do. We down what? We down 5 kilos, which is honestly not a lot, but I was on a much stabler weight loss before, but we're still down. Still keeping the muscle. Overall, I've lost it's been 1 year since I started, and I've lost a total of 36 kilos now. So the gym's still a major aspect. I can't quit that. Plus, I can't do I can do YouTube work on the transit. I'm just lazy, honestly. Honestly, you know what? I should just lock in more. I could probably get YouTube done as well. Speaking of lock in, I should also lock in on this project. I'm talking too much, and my hour's almost up. Actually, files are provided in nifty formats. Volume by 90 degrees. I wonder if there's one for... Yeah, nice talking to you too, man. Hopefully I can upload soon. Take care. You too. One 3D scan. Compact vector fluent features. So yeah, okay, we need an image encoder. Independent instance for PET. Okay. this is encoders.py. Coder.py. Components, the model owns, convolution layers, activation functions, normalization, pooling, and final projection layer. Okay, the forward pass. Actual machinery not yet passing data through it, so define forward tutorial. Tutorial. Mathematical and all that stuff. Yeah. Oh, I got CUDA. I don't got CUDA. Let's see. 2D classification, 2D segmentation, 3D regression, 3D segmentation. Torch, breadths, spleen, unit segmentation, 3D ignite. Intent training and evaluation of 3D segmentation based on a synthetic data set. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Intent training based on MD spleen data set. This shows the mini in Python. Alright, let's go to U. Transforms for dictionary, format data, load an FD image with metadata, add channel dim to the data if that channel dimension. Holy, this is a lot. First of all, Python, import Moni, pip install, Moni weekly, import matplotlib. Pips directory and what pip is available to they run. It's not going to get all the Python that install these behaviors. If I just do Moni. Okay. I think that's fine. Moni.utils import. Still not showing up. installed Monai. Is that not it? Okay. Monai.handlers from engine, unit, night symmetric, import torch, port. Low key will just take all of you. Damn. So Monai is just not working. Import Monai. I guess, bro. It's not working. Just not running. Why are we not running? I also have to see when prayer is here. Let's see. God, it's just meeting after meeting daily, bro. Actually so tweaked. Bus error, import Monai. What? Tried to import Monai, does not seem to be working. Can somebody please tell me what's going on? Why are you not working? There's a hidden viewer within the stream. I wonder who's watching. Is it just me? I doubt it. Does it count me? If I have it open on YouTube Studio? I don't know if it counts me or not. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of environment stuff. I think it's been a fun stream. And I think I should probably head out so that I can code this in peace and probably test it better as well. And then figure out what's going on. But yeah, no, I don't think anyone's watching right now, but thank you all for whoever tuned in. It says 7 views, so whoever tuned in and left, I hope you found some value out of it. I didn't really get much time to actually code, and I'm sorry that I couldn't. I just have a lot of meetings coming up, so I'm a bit busy, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see. I don't think I'll be streaming next Wednesday, but I think the Wednesday after that, hopefully, so catch you all there. Peace.